Good afternoon, everyone. So, today welcomes to Sullistani Archaeological Park in outside of Puno, Peru. And this is actually a necropolis. And so, let me show you around. So right here is an Inca tomb. And in this area, there are Pre-Incan and Incan tombs. Now this one demonstrates how they built the tombs, because the largest one is 12 meters tall. So that's roughly 40 feet in height. And every one of these stones is incredibly heavy. So they built these ramps, and they would move the stones higher and higher, and they would build the ramps, and they would put, about 5 bodies in the tombs in the fetal position. There's the actual entranceway. You can't go inside them anymore. But they put them in the fetal position because in Incan beliefs, they will be reborn. So put them in fetal position, they're reborn. Up ahead is the lizard tomb. And that's called the lizard tomb because it has a little carving of a lizard. As you can see, half of it has been destroyed by the Spaniards, because that's what the Spaniards did, because they wanted gold and everything like that. And so those are some of the Incan tombs. Now we can go take a look at some of the pre-Incan tombs. Right there is a lake as well. I can't remember the name of the lake. If my voice is a little off, it's because we are at about 14,000 feet in elevation right now. So it is a little harder for me to breathe, actually. Especially breathe, hike up here, and walk and talk. So these are pre-Incan tombs. And these would hold one body. And they also were in the fetal position. And these all date back roughly about 1,500 years. And there you can tell the difference. So the ones that are nice and smooth design, those are Incan. The ones that are rocks that are held together by clay, those are pre-Incan. And when the Incans came around, they actually just left all the pre-Incan tombs, and it was actually here that they decided to build tombs, because the Incas didn't build tombs before. And so I think that's rather interesting. You can also see there's some more. That's a pre-Incan. There's the lizard tomb. There's an Incan one. There's pre-Incan. And so, one thing I want to share with everybody that I've noticed through my travels in Peru so far. So, excuse me. So this was a tour that I took. Oh, there's little butterflies. I took a tour because this tour is actually a little bit expensive at 60 soles. It's about like $17. And the reason I took the tour, and I've been taking a lot of tours in Peru, is because it's hard to get out to these places. Like, it's not easy. Like, I can take a public bus from Puna to get out to get to the road that leads to Sullistani, but that's another 14 kilometers. And so how do you get to Sullistani? Well, you can either take a taxi which they have taxis that'll sit there. But then they charge you 35 soles because they wait for you. They bring you back to the road. And the entrance to the archaeological site is 20 soles. So that's 55 soles right there that you've spent. And you've taken a lot more time, and you don't have a tour guide or anything. So to save $1.75, $1.50, it's worthwhile just to pay for the tour. The same thing that has happened in Cusco when I visited a lot of the archaeological sites is I took tours because they're not very expensive. They're like normally about $10 or less, and you get to see all sorts of sites. And yes, you could see them on your own, but then you'd have to get a taxi or take all sorts of buses. And my big thing is the elevation here and in Cusco is 12,000 feet, I mean. So you have to walk up all these hills to get to places, and that makes it really difficult. So, you know, it's not the biggest DIY way to go about things, but you're not really saving any money by doing it on your own here, because things are a lot cheaper. All right. Well, enjoy the necropolis. I sure did. I'm super glad I took this tour, and have a nice day. Bye, everyone.